Now that same day, 2 of them were going to a village called Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem. They were talking with each other about everything that had happened. As they talked and discussed these things with each other, Jesus himself came up and walked along with them, but they were kept from recognizing him.
What are you discussing together as you walk along?
They stood still, their faces downcast. One of them, named Cleopas, asked him,
Are you only a visitor to Jerusalem and do not know the things that have happened there in these days?
What things?
About Jesus of Nazareth. He was a prophet, powerful in word and deed before God and all the people. The chief priests and our rulers handed him over to be sentenced to death, and they crucified him. But we had hoped that he was the one who was going to redeem Israel.
And what is more, it is the 3rd day since all this took place. In addition, some of our women amazed us. They went to the tomb early this morning, but didn't find his body. They came and told us that they had seen a vision of angels who said he was alive. Then some of our companions went to the tomb and found it just as the woman had said. But him they did not see.
How foolish you are, and how slow to heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Did not the Christ have to suffer these things and then enter his glory?
And beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he explained to them what was said in all the scriptures concerning himself. As they approached the village to which they were going, Jesus acted as if he were going farther. But they urged him strongly,
Stay with us, for it is nearly evening. The day is almost over.
So he went in to stay with them. When he was at the table with them, he took bread, gave thanks, broke it, and began to give it to them. Then their eyes were opened, and they recognized him, and he disappeared from their sight. They asked each other,
Were not our hearts burning within us while he talked with us on the road and opened the scriptures to us?
They got up and returned at once to Jerusalem. There they found the 11 and those with them assembled together and saying, It is true, the Lord has risen and has appeared to Simon. Then the 2 told what had happened on the way and how Jesus was recognized by them when he broke the bread.
There's an old nursery rhyme that goes something like this. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Now, there are many people that we come in contact with every day. Maybe someone sitting in the pew with you, or maybe it's even you. There are many people who have had a great fall in life. It seems that life has been broken to the point that they wonder if it ever can be put back together. Not only that, they wonder if anyone else cares if their life is ever put back together again. A diagnosis of cancer, a marriage breaks up, a loved one is told that they have Alzheimer's, or a spouse dies. You've worked hard all semester to get good grades, and they just don't come up to the level that you had hoped for as the end of the semester arrives. You break up with a boyfriend or a girlfriend. A lifelong dream that you've had seems to have slipped through your fingers, and you now are getting to the point in life that you aren't sure that you're ever going to be able to realize or experience that dream that you wanted to accomplish. The job that you thought was going to carry you through to retirement is over. We've all had our great falls. It's happened in different ways and at different times. But we can all relate to that feeling broken or the feeling of hitting bottom. As we look at the story that was just read for us, it talks about 2 people who are walking from Jerusalem to Emmaus. People whose lives have been shattered. Now we often hear that it's two men that are on this road to Emmaus, but we know that one of the people is Cleopas, a man, but we don't know who the other person is with him. Maybe it's another man, but maybe it's his wife. Maybe his wife is with him on the journey. What we know is that they're followers of Jesus. They've known about Jesus' life and ministry. They've been in Jerusalem. They know about his crucifixion. And now this is Sunday, the third day after the crucifixion. And they've got a lot of questions. They've got a lot of concerns. Things just aren't working out like they had thought they would. Jesus was going to be King of the Jews, and they expected him to be coronated with a crown, and now he's been crucified. What does this all mean? It seems that their expectations of life, their expectations of what it would mean to follow Jesus have come crashing down, and now they're trying to make sense of it all. What could it all mean? Everything they've ever believed, everything that they had hoped for has now been shattered. This great fall, these unexpected events have caused them to ask some questions. Questions about their faith, reevaluating their commitment to following this Jesus. Who was Jesus really? Was he raised from the dead, or like the women said, or had his body been stolen away? There's none of us who have not had questions about our faith. From time to time, we're far from the first generation of doubters. Pastor Alex talked to us last week about the most famous doubter, doubting Thomas, of the questions that he had. He said, I need to see the resurrected Jesus. I need to see the nail prints in his hands. I need to put my hand in his side. I love the story that's told about a 12-year-old boy who was called to testify in a court of law. And as he sat and answered the questions on the stand, he was now being cross-examined by another lawyer. And this lawyer doing the cross-examination was trying to destroy the young boy's credibility, was trying to trip him up in his story, was trying to find some sort of inconsistency. But just over and over again, the boy was consistent in his story, and the lawyer was unable to trip him up. And so kind of as the lawyer was wrapping up his cross-examination, he thought he'd try a different angle, and he said to the young boy, "I bet your father told you exactly what you were to say on the stand, didn't he?" The young boy responded, well, yes, he did. The lawyer thought at that point, I've got him. I've trapped him at this point, and I'm going to ruin his credibility. But the boy went on, and he said, yes, he did tell me what to say on the stand. He said he told me to tell the truth. And he said, if you tell the truth, you don't have to worry about being caught in a lie. In God's kingdom, truth always wins over lies. God's truth can stand the test of questioning. There's not a question nor an answer that we can have that is true, that in some way discredits the truth of who Jesus Christ is. Now there may be those of us who may not be adequately able to answer every question of faith that is asked. But yet our questioning and even our understanding of the answers does not in any way discredit the truth of God's Word and who Jesus is. God's truth has stood the test of time, and it can stand the test of doubts or questions that any of us may raise. As those two walk on the road to Emmaus together, it says that Jesus joined them along the way. But they didn't recognize him. Now in retrospect, after it was over, they said, didn't your heart feel warmed as he came and walked with us? Reminiscent of what John Wesley said of his own conversion experiences when he said, I felt my heart strangely warmed. As Jesus drew near to them, there was a warmth, there was a trust, there was a sense that what he spoke was really true.